Now go.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a couple candidates here. We have a candidate here from the 46th Assembly District. Without further ado, let me have him.
Hold on, Glenn, hold on. Pledge of Allegiance first. Pledge of Allegiance.
You get my job. See that?
Everyone, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of Allegiance, please. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you.
Amen.
Without further ado, we have a candidate from the 46th Assembly District, which encompasses this area right here. So, instead of me talking, Stephanie and Roy.
Hi, everybody. My name is Stamatis Lagakis. I'm the Republican conservative candidate here in the 46th District, which is pretty much Bay Ridge, and it goes out to Bright Beach. I'm in that district. Thank you very much. I hope you come out and vote for all the Republicans and conservatives that are out there. Basically, my story is I'm a small business owner, a father, and I grew up in this neighborhood. And I've seen the assault on our community, on our way of life, and on our morals. And the more involved I got in my community, the more I came to realize that in my case, our state assemblyman, who I'm running against now, a Democrat, doesn't have a voice for the people. He has a voice for his party. And people in the district and in the state are fed up with people not representing the community's needs and actually going out to the community. My opponent actually stood up the other day and said that he dropped our taxes, that he helped drop our taxes in the state. And my response was, where? How can you lie to everybody's face? Just come out blatantly and lie to the public and say everything's so wonderful, everything's so great. Our businesses are struggling, our children are struggling, our parents and friends are leaving the state and moving to North Carolina, moving to Texas, moving to other areas. It has to stop. And we have to take control of our communities again. And the people that live in the areas need to get involved. And right now, we have winnable elections. I'm proud to say one thing that we've accomplished so far, aside from winning the primary. In this 46th district, we now have a united Republican Party that's all working together. And we can win. We can take our state back. We can help our children live the American dream that our parents and our forefathers came here for. We can help drop taxes and alleviate some of the stress from taxes. We can help our children by actually putting people who are educators and involved in education to put a system together that'll actually help our children and guide our children. We don't need bureaucrats to do that. We need people who are educated in the fields, that have backgrounds in fields, to actually go out and help everybody. So everybody has to get their friends involved. We have to get our community involved. And I think most people, whether they're registered Republicans or Democrats, doesn't matter. I think most people will align themselves with what we feel. It's about our community, it's about our families, it's about our morals. And about choice, about having our children go to schools that's best for them. Not for the government to dictate every part of our lives. It has to stop. So get everybody that you can involved, regardless of what district you're in. And we can all work together and take our state back and make it the great state that it once was. And make it the economic capital of the world. Now we're rated last in the country. It's a shame. It's a shame that it's gotten to this point. But everybody, thank you very much for your time. And just let's go out there, let's organize our teams, and let's take back our districts, and let's take back our state, and make New York the great state that it once was. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, give me a sec. That'd work better on your pantomiming gland. That's the other end of life. Hold on. Camera didn't unlock.
Ready? I'm going to fire you as my secretary.
Go for it. Everyone.
Okay, press that button.
Just
I got it.
Did you get it? My former secretary was it?
everyone smile.
I thought we did that already.
You got 2 picks, Glenn.
How can we help you? Do you have a website or a
Yeah,
phone number?
our phone number is 917-297-3790. And we have an office here on 3rd Avenue and 97th Street, which I'm sharing with Senator Golden. So we can use all the help that we can get. If you have some spare time and want to make phone calls, go door to door, any kind of help, we appreciate it. And we really do have a very winnable election here.
Who are you
Dennis, you had a
running
question?
against?
I'm running against Alec Krasny.
Oh, okay.
So Alec, actually, for the first time in the 8 years that he's in office, is
He's on
actually
the
come
count.
to Bay Ridge for the first time and actually trying to make a presence. So we did wake them up, and they do feel threatened. So let's take them down altogether.
You're a first-time candidate,
Yes.
but you did win a recent election. How has that set you up, you feel, for the general election?
Well, and actually, the primary, which I'm all for primaries, I feel that it's a good tool for us to get make our mistakes during a primary, so this way we can move forward into a general. Competition's good. We've actually been able now, even though I had a primary, my primary opponent endorsed me, and is actually came out publicly for me, and is actually going door to door and helping out with their people. So it's a good situation that we have right now, and I hope that it moves forward for the party, just in general, that we all work together as a unit. That's how we're going to win elections. We're not going to win it if we're fighting amongst ourselves. We all have the same ideas. We all have the same wants, and we all have the same goals. It's just sometimes, during primaries, people tend to go their own separate ways. Instead of coming together and saying, you know what, you won the primary, let's all get together now and move forward and actually win the district back for us. So I think we're in a very good position. And for me, like I said, I have a candidate that I'm running against that raised our taxes 421 times in 8 years. That's once a week. It's, literally voted down party lines 100% of the time and is out there saying that he's a servant to the community. Well, regardless of, how many Democrats there are, there's still 35% Republicans that have no voice. And, when we have a governor right now, which I hope he's out, I hope Rob really takes this race. Rob is one of the nicest men that I've met in my life. So I fully support him. When you have a governor that's a bully, everybody's against bullies, why aren't the Democrats out there voting against him? Which I think this year they will. I know a lot of people that are fed up.
They did in the primary.
That's right, they did in the primary. I think they're going to come out against him. I think sometimes it's not a bad thing when they underestimate what's going on. I see a lot of momentum. I was in upstate. My parents live in central New York, so I was visiting them. And I saw the only signs that I saw upstate were Astorino signs. I didn't see any Cuomo signs. So I know people upstate are not with.
Cuomo's in big trouble upstate.
Yeah, he's in big trouble with it. So, but going back over here, when I have a candidate that I run against that voted 100% of the time down party lines, he's not representing the community. People are fed up. People actually want somebody who's going to go out there and speak from the heart and do what's best for their community. And that's what my message is. I speak from the heart. I never work off a script. I say what's on my mind, and people like that. People want an average citizen to be back out there and representing them, because what's been going on at least in our assembly is that there is no voice for the people in the assembly. It's just strictly what parties want, and that has to end. It's destroyed our community. So.
Dennis?
I just wanted to say, I was going to ask a question, but I don't make a comment instead. Instead of making it about party, I think if there's any way you can bring people out, there are a lot of disaffected people out there who are still either out of work or not making $10 an hour. And we need more middle class upward mobility, not just here, but the whole country. And if you can reach those people and get them to come out for you, you might have a shot. Instead of the same old Democrat versus Republican nonsense,
that's what it is.
Which never wins, or rarely wins.
I agree with you.
Here it won't win. Over here it's a matter of people feeling that we can get the job done. And I'm a business owner, I run a business. And if my opponent was one of my employees, I would have fired him 7.5 years ago. Because the job isn't getting done, and people know that it's not getting done. And they want new faces, and they want people who have some kind of background in business to create jobs, because that's the biggest problem in our country. It's jobs. People aren't working, regardless of what the statistics say. You know, there's a lot of people are working 2 and 3 jobs to pay their rent. There's nothing left at the end for them to save. It's not there anymore. You know, how many people can actually live on one income right now? Well, that's what they were doing in the 70s. That's how my parents were. My father went to work, my mother stayed home and raised the children.
Thank you.
That's almost impossible today because people aren't making that kind of money to raise their families and actually have a parent at home. So people are taking on to them. That's what we're going out and saying to people. We need better jobs. We have to become, the state has to become business friendly and actually start bringing jobs back and manufacturing back. Manufacturing is not a bad thing, it's a wonderful thing. It creates a lot of jobs. You can't have companies like Remington and Chobani. Chobani's leaving. We became the yogurt capital of the country, and our biggest yogurt manufacturer just left. They're going down to Delaware, so Maryland. So we can't have that. They have to be business friendly. They have to create more jobs. And when there's more jobs being created, there'll be more demand for the workforce, and the workforce will start making more money. And when, you know, capitalism is a wonderful thing. When there's a demand for a product, the prices are going to rise. People are going to work more. They're going to make more money, and it's just a trickle effect.
Have you considered maybe endorsing like e-commerce businesses? Like, you know, you don't have to run a business to actually have a store or anything like that. If you're very creative, you know, have crochet or sew, you can actually do e-commerce online. Parents and mothers and daughters can actually make money off that.
Why not? There should be e-commerce. People should make money and a living any way they can. And the government shouldn't interfere in any aspect of that. That'll create jobs, they'll pay taxes on that, and that'll just help everybody out.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We have a guest speaker here, and we only have a certain finite amount of time. Wade, if you could keep it 4 minutes or so. Okay. Do a quick thing. And this is Wade Chan, running for the 26th state Senate.
I'm running for the 26th Senate District, which consists of everything south of South Street and the waterfront of the from Dumbo to Brooklyn Heights. Albany is a cesspool, we all know that. But I'm not running because of Republican or Democrat. I'm running because of right and wrong. As we all see what happened this past week, there was a teacher who raped 5 kids. That was reported in the news. Yet he's still on our payroll. There are 17,000 teachers in New York City that are on our payrolls that haven't been discharged. Some of them are so dangerous, just like this one, who cannot be fired, who are not allowed around kids. Like I said, this is not a right or wrong, this is not a left or right issue. This is a right or wrong issue. I am not as subservient to the teachers unions like some of the rhino Republicans are, and the progressive liberals are. This is unacceptable. Instead of asking us for more money to pay for these folks, for more money to pay for school books, and for teachers' raises and after-school programs, why don't we eliminate these teachers who are incompetent, perverted, and disgusting? Okay? So, here's another little thing. Let's pass Jessica's Law. For people who don't know what Jessica's Law is, if you've been convicted of a sex crime to a minor, you're placed in mandatory jail sentences of 10 to 25 years. And if you're released, there are ankle bracelets. There's a tracking monitor on you. We're one of 5 states that do not have that. I'm sorry, but I believe our children are our most important and the most valuable assets. Like I said, this isn't a right or wrong issue. This is a right or wrong issue. It's not a left or right issue. Okay? We have a budget of $900 million, nearly $1 trillion for our education. 12% goes to teachers on administrative leave, the highest in the nation. Like, I want to keep, appreciate Glenn for having me speak. I want to keep this short. This is my second one. I believe we can win this race because of right and wrong issues. If you like, I have the forms if you'd like to donate to my campaign. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You have a website? Facebook, you're on
I'm
Facebook.
on Facebook. Go ahead.
Yeah, my mom's a former teacher, and I know for a fact there wasn't a special like room or office for these teachers.
That room's been shut down. The rubber one has been shut down, but yet
These still go around, and I don't get that.
This-
If you're a lawyer and you did this, you'd be...
well, this is why, like I said, it's not a right or left issue. This is a right or wrong issue. Instead of asking us taxpayers to pay more money for this,
Yeah, we should.
let's discharge these people who are incompetent or do not have any business being in their classrooms with our kids. Now, our kids are, we entrust our children to these people 5 days a week, 6 hours a day, okay? Our doctors go through a residency. Why don't some of these teachers go through a background check and have a residency to make sure they're competent? We can fix our educational system. Like I said, I believe our kids are our most important and most valuable asset. But yet we discard them, the progressive liberals discard them, and they feel like they're entitled to sex with their kids.
And it's Brooklyn Tackleball places, and I was really shocked.
Okay? And it's not only we had 500 complaints just last year alone with the Department of Education. And this has gone silent. The liberal mainstream media refuses to report. It's not a right or wrong issue. This is our kids we're speaking about. Thank you.
Thank you, Wade. One more person that wants, he's on behalf of
26.
Markman Kahlo, who's running for the 48th Assembly District in Borough Park, Midwood, and other, what other parts? Jake, you wanted to say something? Parts of Flatbush.
This is unusual for me. I'm a journalist, and I don't participate in campaigns.
Say it louder.
I came on behalf. I ate broccoli, so I'm a little. I'm shy.
It affected George
I'm not
Bush.
shy. So I have here a campaign list of a Republican candidate, the first time an effectively candidate challenge to Dov Hikin in the 48th district. It's Borough Park, Midwood, parts of Flatbush. He's looking for volunteers. De Blasio just raised the minimum wage to $15 an hour, so this is opportunity to make some money for the next 29 days. He's looking people canvassing, phone banking, or any other opportunity. If you would write down your name, your phone number, or email, somebody of the campaign can contact you, and he'd be delighted if anybody here.
Who's he?
Not McCall.
He's the district leader of the 48th.
He's the 48th district leader of the Republican Party. He's running on the Republican line, and Housing and Jobs, new created party line. And he has committed already $500,000 to put in his campaign, self-funding campaign. Here's his lit, the campaign contact information, and if you would be willing to help out the campaign, of course, for pay, you'd be more than delighted.
Money's good. And that's how much again? $15 an hour?
Starting $15.
Starting $15.
That's minimum wage.
Come on, sign up. Dennis, I know you, come on, more money is good for everyone. Thank you. Okay, without further ado, our guest speaker, Christine Sisto. Did I say it correctly? I hope. Okay. She's a writer for the National Review online. And without further ado, Christine, please step up to the mic. Thank you.
I got everything.
All right, like Glenn said, my name's Christine. I'm a writer for National Review. You guys hear me?
I can hear you, but I'm not sure anyone else can.
Is that better?
Just have that door closed a little better in the back. Jacob, when they-
Is the mic on?
No, I didn't even put the microphone
It's
on.
on, the volume is on high, but it's maybe a little better. A shillelagh?
I don't think the flag is necessary.
Okay, I'll just try this one. All right, so, like Glenn said, my name's Christine. I'm a writer for National Review. I'm from Brooklyn. I've growing up, my house